Some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China, but those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that.
All this pain, all this pressure, all this embarrassment that I feel every single day, is it worth it? Is it worth the risk if I have so much pain? Is my pain worth the risk if I have so many?
Once upon a time, the US and China were involved in a little economic slap. Tariffs were thrown, tea was spilled, and Chinese manufacturers were like, oh, you want to play games? Let's play games. Let's just expose every luxury brand's secrets real quick. And guys, it's going juicy and it's trending on TikTok. I was just minding my business and then I see a video of a guy saying, oh yeah, like you want to get an Hermes, girl? Like you can get it for like, a couple $100, not the thousands that they charge you. And I was like, well, I would never get one for myself, but I would love to know what's going on here. And then another video came, and then another one came, and then another one came, and I was like, wait a minute, is somebody getting exposed? But then I was like, wait, don't I already know this? It's just the name that you pay for and the experience. I already knew that, but I was like, well, this is just, now we know the source. Like before it was like, yeah, we kind of knew that they were probably making these bags for cheap, but now we kind of like know where they're being made. Well, at least someone is claiming to be making them. So let's get into this video and just try to dissect what's going on here.
With me to check out China's biggest luxury wholesaler. Thanks to President Trump's recent tariffs, Chinese manufacturers for luxury brands like Hermes, Chanel, LV, etc. are coming out of the woods and offering direct sale to us peasants and the US at a pinch of the price. When you walk in, they hand you gloves because the goods you're about to handle are still the same top quality. I've never seen so many Hermes bags lined up in front of me, let alone try every size and color on like I'm in Walmart. Best part is there's no sales assistant stalking you. No upsells, and you're only paying 20% of the price. These only range from $250 to $500. That's a steal. Manufacturers are exposing luxury brands for what the bags actually cost. Now that Donnie's pissed off the peasants, all hell's broken loose.
You never want to piss off the peasants because the peasants actually have a lot of power. So as someone who lived in China for a while, I lived there for like 2 years. China has a variety of goods. It has really, really high quality goods, and it also has like really, really poor quality goods. It all depends with how much you're willing to spend on a product. To be honest, the goods can be made, Gucci can be made, Chanel handbags can be made. It's just how much you're willing to spend. And when you think of like the price range that she gave, like $200 to $500, that's actually a lot of money there. Like that's a lot of money to spend on a bag. That in itself shows that the bag is probably good quality, but you still have to be careful because sometimes things can be expensive and still not be that good. So you really have to have quality control. And I think that's the thing that these brands have that a lot of people just cannot get. Because if you buy like a fake, I don't know, Chanel bag or something, it's going to tarnish and it's going to start ripping apart. You know how the leather starts falling off. And I think the thing that these brands have is quality control, which a lot of people don't really know. You need to have people who know how to tell good leather from the poor quality one. You need to know people who can tell what good stitching is. You need all of these details to be made, to be like inspected and made sure that it's top quality and it's good enough and it's going to last a long period of time. That's the only thing. And then the fact that the brand puts their name on the product and they design the product probably, all of that. So it's just, you're just buying the brand. You're buying the brand, but the product is practically the same. You can find someone who can make a good Hermes bag for you in China, as long as they have like good materials and everything like that, and it still be the same quality as the one that you get from Hermes. It's just about quality control and knowing where to get the right pieces and the right person to make the right, product for you. That's all it is.
I see people making lists of who they want to order from China, and I need everybody to slow down. Yes, China is spilling the tea, but me as being a business owner who has ordered from China for the past 6 years, let me tell you a couple of things. things. And the first thing is, not all factories are the same. So yes, they can get on here and they can make claims that they do this, that, and the third, and the quality is this, that, and the third, and it may not be. Luxury brands order from certain factories because they want a certain quality. And so just because a factory says that they have this design doesn't mean that they have the same quality that the luxury designer ordered from. You have to be careful of that. I've learned firsthand, not all factories are the same. The second thing that you need to know is you need to get an agent. Don't just start ordering from China all willy-nilly. You need an agent that's going to get your stuff, inspect it, make sure it's up to par, send you pictures, send you videos, do all that stuff before they ship it off to you. I have an agent that I've been using for the past 6 years. That's how I've been in business and been ordering the stuff for my boutique. So before you start ordering from these factories, please hear me out.
Exactly my point. Like, it's just about quality control, because to be honest, materials are just materials. Hermes is just Hermes, right? So you just have to make sure you know the right person, the right people, the right distribution chain, and all of these things to get the product that is good enough, you know? So that's just all it is. And for some reason, we all knew this, like we already knew this, but for some reason, it's still news. It's still news to us.
The private label and licensing business is about a brand saying to X manufacturer, usually in China, we want to order these items and we're going to put our label and brand on them. Typically, they design them and they get this manufacturer to make this product. So when you find out exactly who's making Skims, which happened like over a year ago on this app, or I guess Lululemon, or anything. It could be sauce. It could be Charlotte Tilbury's Squeezy Blush. It could be Paris Hilton's fragrance, Michael Kors sunglasses, anything. The originator was the brand that innovated it, put their label on it, had someone else make it for them. Then you sort of want to deconstruct this and go back and find out who's manufacturing it and what it costs to manufacture. But frankly, it's usually the brand that has commissioned this product. So it's a circular reference. So the problem lies with the major brands, the Dior's that people find out have a bag that cost $75 to make that costs $6,000 to buy, and then Chanel bags are $12,000 to $20,000, and you know because there are super fakes that people cannot tell the difference, and those are hundreds of dollars. So if there's super fakes and people cannot tell the difference, even experts, that means that it can't cost that much more than hundreds of dollars to make bags that are charging $12,000. But brands even like Chanel, Dior, they are creating experiences, real estate experiences. That's not free. You walk in there, not unlike walking into a restaurant and wanting to have the $32 truffle pasta, where the box of pasta was 99 cents to make. Probably cost, a couple of dollars to make. So you can't do this. You can't break it all down. You just decide what is too much. Yes, is $12,000 too much for a bag that costs $75 to make? Yes, but that is your own choice. You did this. We did this. It happens in every single area, including jewelry, food, makeup. It happens everywhere. Furniture. When you go to buy a house, you could ask the contractor how much it actually costs to do the work, but he's certainly not going to tell you, he or she. You're going to overpay dearly because that person is paying for their business, their lawyers, their trademarks, their assistant, their truck, their liability, all of it. So this is real big girl business. You guys can't be acting like babies.
True. And I know it might sound like I'm on the side of like the brands, but it's just common knowledge. Like if you go into, like, we've seen people who've gone into like Hermes or like Van Cleef, I don't know, the necklace thingy. Yeah. And they're like, oh, welcome. Sit down. And they're like, oh, would you like some coffee with like your face on it? And you're like, oh, yes. And then they give you the coffee with your face on it. And they're like, oh, you have other jewelry. Take it off. Let's go. Let us clean it for you. And then you give them the jewelry and they're like, go clean it for you. And they're like, oh, ma'am, we're bringing the jewelry out. What would you like to see? This is our collection for the summer. And then they bring the collection for the summer. And you're like, oh my gosh, so fancy. And then you put it back back, and then they're like, oh, gorgeous. And then, would you like some rosé? And you're like, oh yes, I would love some rosé. Oh, some whiskey, please. Whatever rich people drink, I don't know. And then you're like, oh, thank you. Then they bring it like a fancy glass. Why am I speaking British? That's the point, is the experience. And then when these people post this on the internet, we're like, oh my gosh, wow, I want to experience that. Like, the bag itself is not that crazy. Like, it's not even the jewelry itself, it's just jewelry. Come on, guys. But it's the experience, it's the name, it's the brand. And as someone who's an artist, it makes sense to me. Like, when you design something, let's say a sticker, yeah, you design a sticker, and someone else can design that sticker, someone else can make that same sticker, the same quality, but maybe you charge, I don't know, $10 for the sticker, and the other person charges $2 for the sticker. It's up to the customer to decide which sticker they want, and the reasons are what is going to cause them to buy whichever sticker they're going to buy. So if they connect with you, if maybe they follow you and they like your personality and they want to support you, they will buy the $10 sticker and not buy the $2 sticker, because they don't know who that person is. So it's all about context and the experience and the reasoning that goes behind buying a certain product.
This is a super fake Lady Dior made in China. I'm not trying to sell you anything, I just want to join the line to spill some teas about these luxury brands. There was a huge scandal came out last year talking about these luxury brands got their bags made by illegal Chinese workers in Italy, and it only cost $57 to make the bag. And second, rich people love fake bags. There was an article before talking about how the rich women in Manhattan love their fake Birkins. They own half real ones, half fake ones. The real ones are for formal occasions and the fake ones are for daily wears.
You see, rich people know what they're doing, and us poor people are always trying to play along the game, because we think, oh, everything is real, when they're like, girl, I'm going to the supermarket with this bag, yeah, it's not real, but it's a good fake. But actually, again, like, even the way this girl talks about this fake Dior bag, like, is it really a fake, or is it just not bought from the store? You know, that type of thing. Like, it could be made in the same factory or the same place where the other bags were made that were taken to Dior, but this one was just not sent to Dior. But then the quality is just practically the same. So is it fake, or is it just not sold through the store? You know, that type of thing. I don't know if it makes sense.
Anyway, let me show you the details. So this is a medium-sized Lady Dior. The real one is $6,500, and I got this one for $300 in Guangzhou.
Again, $300 in Guangzhou for a product like this is a lot of money, because the people in Dior are probably spending the same amount of money to get their bags from there. So again, is it a fake, or is it just not accounted for in the store? You know, I don't know if it makes sense.
And I'll just let you draw the conclusion. Can you see the leather, the hardware? I mean, it's all top tier. And apparently one way to tell between the real ones and the fake ones is the real ones' handles stay exactly parallel like this. Okay, Chinese fake bags can do the same. Anyway, just saying, this is a...
Again, is it fake, or is it just not bought from Dior directly? You know? So, I don't know. Like, it's just a bag. If you go to Dior, you're just paying for the experience. You're paying for the brand to be exclusive and to, you know, because again, it's not like they're mass producing these bags to sell to everyone. So there's exclusivity that comes with the product. And that's why people pay a lot of money for them. It's not just about the product itself, you know? That's what it is. It is what it is.
So confused, because Hermes clearly purports that all of their bags are handmade in France and their watches are made in Switzerland. In their verbiage, there is no room for confusion about where their products are manufactured. There's no room for China. But in the beginning of that video, that nice Chinese man is clearly standing in front of what appear to be Hermes bags, saying that these are the bags that we manufacture. I noticed he didn't say Hermes when he called out all the brands like Prada, Louis Vuitton, Coach. But the implication was very clearly there. And if Hermes products, specifically their bags, are made from beginning to end in France, why would their valuation drop with the news that Chinese manufacturers are spilling the tea? It says right here on their website, the vast majority of our products are manufactured in France. They talk about sourcing cashmere from Mongolia, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely nothing about China. And those purses that man was standing in front of were identical to Hermes bags, correct? So does that mean Hermes is lying to us? At least lying by omission? Or are their bags beginning to end manufactured, designed, whatever, in France? I'm so confused.
I saw a comment that answered this question for me. It was, until Hermes shows me the factory in France where they're making the bags, I'm not gonna believe that they're making their bags in France. While editing this video, guess what showed up on my For You page? Yes, videos of brands making products, and in particular, the Hermes factory in France.
Hermes has built in villages and towns all over France. This is one of them, in Tourne, a 3-hour drive from Paris in the French countryside. The workshop is quiet. There is no jamming of sewing machines, just artisans performing a silent dance with dueling needles. The morning we visited, we met
Maybe not. Maybe there is.
And that wasn't the only video that I saw. I saw one of Cartier, I saw one of Gucci, and they were like following each other, and I was like, this is damage control. Like, it's really serious damage control right now, and it's so funny. It's so funny. These are the brands that try to act like China is like the filth of the scam. Like, it's like, your products, if the products are made in China, are like, dude, bro, like, weird, right? But then at the same time, they need the Chinese people to make these products for them. But then again, I was thinking, like, if these people are trying to sell these bags directly to the consumers, doesn't that like infringe like on the contract? Do they have like a contract on like using, because those bags are not like copyrighted or something? I don't know, copyrighted, or like the designs are owned by the brands that make those bags. So it's kind of like that for me, because I'm like, well, like, can you sell those bags because they're not your designs? Like, are you stealing again? So there's also that. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what, do you? It doesn't affect my life in any way. Enjoy yourself. Hermes is probably going to come back from this. Gucci is going to come back from this. All of these brands are going to come back from this, because there's going to be some doo-doo head who's going to still buy these things. So yeah, I mean, they'll come back from it. This isn't the first scandal. This isn't the first time. They're going to manage. So, and another thing is, I think the videos of the Chinese guy talking about the brands are being taken down on TikTok, because he did talk about this, and I noticed like a couple of them that I saved yesterday have been taken down. So anyways, I would love to know what you guys think of the whole situation. Like, was it news for you? Was it shocking? Because I feel like for a lot of people it wasn't shocking. Maybe the only thing that was shocking was someone saying that I'm the one who makes the bags, because it's always been like there's probably someone making the bags, but we just don't know who that person is. And people are like, oh, so you're the one who's making the bags, why don't we just come directly to you? I feel like that's the only news in this situation, but everything else is just, it's old news we already knew. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see if people are going to get really, really good products from now on from these guys. And I just want to see where this goes. So yeah, comment, let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.